Hello. This is the guy who yells at me most of the time I'm streaming. He doesn't like that it's raining outside right now. So, and I just realized my mic was all the way over there, so you couldn't hear a dang thing I was saying. Hello, welcome to day number 79. That white guy over there is my little kitty. Actually, he's an old man kitty. He doesn't like it that it's raining right now, and he can't go outside. Okay, so day 79. I'm hoping to get enough of the integration of Raft and my server done today so that I can actually see a server get elected. So that's sort of my goal today. It's going to be a shorter stream though because I need to run an errand around noontime for me. Right now it's just before 10 a.m. Hey there, Kankamatics. It's raining today and so the light is terrible, and I'm thinking more than ever I need some kind of some kind of good lighting because I'm constantly fighting the blue screen that I have behind me. Trying to get the color key right. Okay, so anyway. Yesterday we started work on serializing Raft messages and integrating into the servers. And today I need to basically finish that serialization stuff. Add deserialization. So serialization is taking an object and turning it into a string of bytes or characters. Deserialization is the opposite. So once I have that, I should be able to fully integrate the Raft algorithm into the servers. Hey there, Rally Monkey. You guys probably missed my guest, my cat, which was yelling at me. I put him on screen for a minute. Actually, let me grab him again because he's right behind me. He's messing around with the computer behind me. Say hello. You want to say hello? I don't think he wants to talk. He was talking to me. He was talking to me earlier. No, stay good. Don't get in trouble. Get there. All right. So yeah, my goal today is to get a real election between servers. So I need the Raft messages to be serializable so that the servers can actually pass them between each other. He's grumpy because it's raining outside and he can't go outside. But he can, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to get wet because he's a prima donna cat. All right. Serialization. So I had put hooks in, but no actual testing of it. We had made this serialize, but does nothing. So we're going to just build up that right now. Server tests for Raft. Serialize. RequestVote. So RequestVote happens when a leader gets elected, right? Or a leader during the election process. So this is the setup for getting election to happen. Grumpy and sad cat, and he actually gets mad and he yells at me. Meow. Act. Assert. Maybe before I get into this, really quick intro would be, if you haven't seen my stream before, I like to write stuff from scratch. Up until now, I've been making my own web server from scratch, and I decided a little bit ago to start to use the web stuff I made to make a game. And the game I'm making is going to be online and multiplayer. So you as a player will be using your web browser to connect. So that web browser is the client. It's going to connect to one of many copies of the game servers. And these copies are there for fault tolerance. Each one has the same state, and we're using the Raft Consensus algorithm, which you can Google search that and find it, so that these servers, two things, they both replicate the state from one to another, and they pick one amongst their number to be the leader, and the leader gets to have the final say. So there's not much game yet, but I'm working on getting servers up that can reach consensus on state. Rage Cat is right. He's nice. He doesn't actually attack. Attack the dog once in a while, but that's when he wants to play. The dog does not want to have anything to do with it though. So what I want to actually let me just spell out the other unit, the test cases I want. I want to serialize request vote, serialize request vote response. Actually, I don't even need this stuff, do I? Because the unit test framework has access. I gave it access, right? Yeah, I gave it access to the internal package internals, so we don't even need this. We can just work directly with messages. Now he's really meowing loud. He's yelling at the outside world, I think. Stop raining. Yeah, good luck with that. All right. So there's also serialize heartbeat. Those are the three kinds of messages I believe I set up. So I think all I need to do here is just make one, right? Make one message equals Raft. Oh yeah, that's right. I changed this off stream. I should probably go over that a little bit. So from yesterday's, I had a lot of follow-up. So one of the many things I did is, if you recall, if you're watching yesterday, I thought that this Raft message, create message, was kind of a code smell, and that it didn't feel right. Didn't seem like it was the right thing to do for dependency injection. So went back and I thought about it, and I said, yeah, really what we need to do is just provide a delegate to the server to give it the function to create a message, so that we can have it create a subclass if we need to. So I just remove the create message, and now you create either the base class like I'm going to do here, or you can create a subclass. It's all the Raft stuff from scratch also, yeah. It's very recent too, so it's only the last 4 streams has been Raft. Before stream 76, there was no, I didn't have any Raft stuff. So if you want to see the Raft stuff from the beginning, just go start at stream 76, I think, and skim through. All right. Yeah, we want to set this up, the type to be request vote. Term, it doesn't really matter what we put here, but let's put some interesting numbers. 42. Actually, how about 42 and then candidate ID 5. All right, so act will be message serialize. And yeah, we don't really need an assert. We'll expect equal. This should actually go pretty fast, really, because there aren't any side effects. It doesn't change the message in any way. It just generates a string. So I just need to decide what string I want. Okay, what did it not like about that? I don't know. It should have liked that. Do I really need to say standard string here? Okay, fine. Don't know why. All right, anyway. So, what kind of string do we want? I suppose I could just stick with JSON. We'll just leverage JSON. So it would look like a JSON string. That way it actually kind of fits in with the... Well, no, not really. it's going to be embedded as a string value. So it doesn't really need to be JSON. How about let's make something that's easy to parse though. Actually, for making it easier to parse, I kind of lean towards making it JSON anyway. So that would be type. We have to escape those. Am I getting this right? I think so, and it's a colon, right? Type request vote. Term. 42. Candidate ID. 5. Just so you know, your daughter's trying to talk to me. Hello. How are you doing? Wow, my blue screen really is bleeding out because of the low light. I need to get like some lights that I can put up here or one in front here that it casts a wide but not too bright glow. I need to think about that to get some consistent lighting here. All right, so that's one. Should we just do all three? Request vote results. What? There's term and vote granted. Change it up here. True. Okay. Request vote results. Term 16. Vote granted. True. Heartbeat. Heartbeat have anything in it? I just had it had a term in it. 8. Okay, so build that. It's going to fail because we haven't implemented any of that stuff. Oh, you know, I never opened my command line today. Let's run all the thing. Well, no. We'll run all the things and we'll see the one thing fail. Raft test fails. That's what we see when we run ctest and one of the suites of tests has at least one test failure. And then you generally have to run it again. We'll see the individual test that failed. Oh, by the way, the stuff I did off stream yesterday really helped the throughput, the time it takes to run stuff. I did a bunch of cleanup and now it runs in just over a second versus 2 to 3 seconds. So that was really nice. Okay, so we're expecting all this nice stuff and we get nothing. So here we go. So if I want to leverage the JSON stuff, which I do, I want to make JSON a dependency. Yeah. Okay, so whoops. So then we include JSON value. Let me just build that just to update CMake so my IntelliSense will work. All right. Okay. So serialize. It depends on, well, we're going to make a JSON object. And how did I do this? It was, I guess we just call it JSON. Has nothing in it to begin with, right? And we're going to return JSON.toEncoding. Right. So switch on the type case. And I think I have to do message impl right? Type request. Let's just lay them all out here. Okay, now what's Kitty doing? Moving around behind me doing something suspicious. What do we do for the default case, though? He's messing around with the furniture behind me. Oh, okay, I know what he's doing. Using the facilities. There's a cat litter box back there. All right. Request vote. So here, JSON type equals request vote. And then I had what? What did I expect to have? Actually, this doesn't really belong in server test, does it? It belongs in message test, which we don't have yet. Let's make that. So copy, paste, rename it message tests, add it to here, source files. Oh, that mournful cat can't get outside. Poor kitty. Message tests. Let's see, we don't need a lot of this stuff actually. We probably don't need anything. We don't really need a fixture. So I'll just make one with no fixture. It's a lot simpler. You just remove the underscore f's here. There's no fixture anymore. And then we'll remove the original copy of the tests from there. Yeah, I guess I didn't finish what I was typing there, did I? That's weird. It doesn't know if it should use the move operator or the assignment operator. I wonder if it's because I need to make this a string. No? Huh. I don't think I've run into this before. It's like it doesn't know if it should copy it or move it. I don't know what to do. Well, I could just use the old school way for now, which was not add, set type doesn't like that either. Oh, it's because it's I know why. It's because it's const. Duh. I could probably go back to this if I make it const, right? Rather than make it non-const, I mean. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, these compiler errors are really kicking me today. All right, so we're going to go between message test and message. Good. Term candidate ID, got it. Message, no, we already have, we are the message. We are the Senate. Request vote, term. candidate ID, which I can copy paste there. So unsigned int, it doesn't know how to directly store that. I need to say store it as an int. That's just a limitation of how I design my JSON class. Message tests are still failing. Oh, looks like the JSON sorts them. Okay then. Just means I have to sort them here. Actually, let's just leverage JSON here again. Because I don't really care exactly the order. So it would be something like this. JSON, gotta include JSON. JSON val, no help from you IntelliSense, apparently. JSON object, and then we do this. Well, okay, need to turn this into an initialization list. And then at the end, we'll do to encoding. Or really, it's when I let's do the opposite. When I parse it from, so JSON value from encoding that should match this JSON object. Let me limit these to just run the message tests. Okay, there. So serialize request vote done. So these other ones should follow the same way. Let me update the expectation. Request vote results. Term 16. Vote granted true. And heartbeat. Term 8. Okay, still gonna fail those two tests. We're gonna go to the code now and fix that. So request vote results, term, and it was vote granted or something, right? Vote granted, which is a Boolean, which has a direct storage or conversion. And I think heartbeat was just the term. Cool. Serialization's done. So, message, implement serialization. Serialization. Deserialization sounds good now, doesn't it? So, I guess I should keep these together. Serialize, deserialize, right? So it's going to be basically turned around. So if this is the serialization, then we need to have an alternate constructor of message that takes a string. So const auto message equals, well, I could have just repeated this, couldn't I? But have it take this encoded, right? And then I should get these things out. So that's there is no act. Well, that is the act. There's no arrange. Well, you can say arrange is setting up the object. I think I will do it that way. So I'll pull the object out and call this, well, we can make it auto. I'm an auto fan, so serialized message. Is that how you spell serialized? It's one of those moments where you're like, is that how you spell things? And then we just construct the message from the serialize from. I definitely spelled that one wrong. Serialized. It is spelled wrong, isn't it? It wasn't just one of those moments. It was my brain saying you did something wrong there. Okay, so we just need to turn these around. Instead of assignments, they're going to expectations. And turn them around. Like that. Okay, so this won't compile at all. Because we don't have a constructor for message that takes a string. So we just need to add that. Simple enough, right? Message. It has a this is the default constructor. Or should we just make it... It takes a string, but it defaults it. I'm kind of inclined to do that. So... serialization. If not empty, this is the serialized form of the message used to, the wrapping isn't going to work, used to initialize the type and properties of the message. Serialization equals empty string. So I can copy that down to here. And I can say if serialization you know what I actually can do? I don't even have to do an if. I'll just do it this way. I'll be very forgiving of mistakes. In fact, maybe we should make a test for this. Nah, it doesn't matter. I don't really care about what happens if we deserialize a broken message. All we really need to do is const auto JSON, for lack of a better word. JSON value from encoding serialization. So if it's the empty string, it's going to be like a what do I have? It's like a special kind of JSON value called invalid or something like that. So I'll just say if, well, const string, no, const auto type equals JSON type as a string. And I'll just say if type is RequestVote, do one thing. Actually, that's the only thing we have to support so far, right? So if it's RequestVote, then impl type is message impl type RequestVote. Impl RequestVote dot term equals casting to int JSON term. And then the other one is candidate ID. And then these types are unsigned int. I'll do this double cast. Each cast is for a different reason. This first cast is basically to disambiguate the indexing operation because there's multiple indexers depending on the return type. And then this is preventing a compiler warning saying we're taking an int and assigning it to an unsigned int. This guy. That should be enough to pass that test. Oh, I didn't mean to be in that window. Everything's up to date, yes. There we go. So that's working. Deserialize. RequestVote response would be next. or results. Results. Vote granted true. We expect it to be that type. Term 16, true. Actually, I can just say true, right? Let's watch that fail at first. Yep, completely fail, utterly fail, completely and utterly fail. Until we put it in here. One of those things I cannot do a switch here. Because it's a string, not an enumeration. Actually, I wonder if it will get the type if I just do this. Okay, yeah, it deduces from the left-hand side type. That one's good. Cool, so one left. Deserialize heartbeat. I'm making it 2 words. I have no idea if it should be 2 words or 1 word. Makes sense to me that it's the 2 words heart and beat are different. Expect a heartbeat with a term in it of 8. Doesn't work, so we go back and we implement the code. So this looks weird to anybody who happens to be visiting, lurking. I'm using test-driven development, so I'm writing unit tests or test cases first, expecting them to fail, and then I fill in the code to make the test pass. And that kind of helps us build the code up incrementally, and then each test sticks around later to be both documenting a use case and also catching if anything breaks. And we just build up our test suite, you know, one test at a time until it's a massive. I guess I am making that 1 word there. Inconsistent. Inconsistency bad. So maybe we'll throw in 1 test. Deserialize garbage. Why not? Oh, Siri thought I was talking to it. Deserialize garbage. Okay, I guess deserialize sounds like hey Siri. Stop it, Siri. Deserialize. Yep. Deserialize sounds like hey Siri. Very funny. Okay. So let's just take 1 and make the string garbage. Hey Romania hate. I'm going well, but this is going to be a short stream because today's sort of a weird day. I got to go somewhere at noon, but I'm working on integration of Raft into my server. So I'm working on taking the messages from the Raft algorithm and serializing them into strings so that it can be transmitted on the actual wire between servers. Done with serialization, now doing the deserialization part. And my phone always thinks I'm saying hey Siri when I do that. That's funny. I just said the magic 2 words and it didn't activate. Anyway, we're going to throw in a test here when we deserialize nothing. Really, let's just say Adam lol PogChamp. We'll get a message back and we should expect, I had like an unknown type in there. Is sleeping. The phone? It keeps waking up though. When I say deserialize, it thinks I'm saying hey Siri. And now it's sulking. It's not activating at all. Whatever. So, good with deserialization. Let's actually, should we have a test for if we take an unknown message and try to serialize it? Let's do that. So, serialize unknown. And not unknown like the special Pokemon. We're talking about unknown kind of message, so the default message. What do we expect it to do? So we keep it at unknown, right? I don't know. What should we have it do? Type unknown? Or should we have some kind of inner joke that we'll never see? Well, let's just keep it unknown. It doesn't really matter what I put there. Oh, wrong window again. There we go. So we're actually not, it's actually putting an empty, maybe that's what we do want. An empty object? What does the code actually do? Yeah, it forms an empty object. Maybe we'll just leave it like that. So it's an empty object. There we go. So we're going to check this in now. Implement deserialization. Cool. Push that. Okay. So I think we'll go back to integration now. Pushing towards getting this running in the real server. That happens in this coordinator test, right? So we had a test here for sending one. I think we should have one for receiving one. Receive Raft message, okay? Actually, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking that will be an incoming connection. This is limiting outgoing connections. Why am I doing this? I should really just not allow any connections. Then we don't need to wait for it. Oh no, I think I'm just getting confused. This sets up the web socket. Then we expect, no, I have this completely wrong. I think this I didn't need. Let me check that up here. I don't need to have that, right? Build this and run the tests. The WebSocket delegate is when another server connects to us. So why am I limiting outward connection, or why am I allowing an outward connection? I really only need 2 servers in the test anyway. Let's see. Realm server tests. Yeah, so we didn't need to have an incoming connection at all on those tests. These were okay though. Yeah, I think I copied from somewhere else and didn't notice that. Okay, so this is the setup for, we're allowing one outgoing connection. We wait for it to happen. Then we wait for it to send out the ID message. Then it should be, it's like it's connected, right? So receive a message will be, instead of, let me think about this. Right. Well, let me think about this. If I want to, I need the message to come in through a text message. So that would be like one of these up here. Text message delegates, right? Did I not test that? Huh. Infra. Oh, I did it through client end. That's how I did it. Yeah, so it's the same kind of thing, only so instead of making a Raft message and having Raft say, hey, I want to send a message, we're going to have a message come in, and we're going to expect that the mock Raft receives a message. So we just have to make this a Raft message. So type, how did I have this? Type Raft. If we see type Raft, then Raft will have the actual thing that Raft will be given. So we can put just anything we want here, since it's not the real Raft. I don't know. How about Omega lol? Why not, right? So assert will be, we need to catch it in the mock Raft. Let me see if I already put that code in place. Mock Raft, receive message. No, it doesn't do anything. So I guess we really only need one right now, right? So last message received equals message. Message sender. Do we really care about this? I probably should test it. Okay, sender. All right. It's all hooked up now. So we can assert false, that it's null. Let me think about this. Actually, before I do this part, I think I need to take a few minutes break. I'll be back in a few minutes. And while I'm away, I'm going to think about what I'm going to do here. But just a really short break, all right? Just a few minutes. I'm back. I don't have any I'm back message that starts quiet and gets louder like Adam does, but sorry. Then again, I don't go away for lunch. So it's only been a few minutes. Okay, I think right now, one issue I have is this mock. Let me look at my mock raft. Oh, I do have a mock raft message. Okay, never mind. Right. So we have to have the opposite. We have to tell Raft how to construct our message. Yeah, this goes back to the dependency injection. So when we made oh no, hold on. We have to tell the server, right? The coordinator has to be told how to. Am I getting this right? I feel like I'm not getting this right. Maybe was it server? iServer I put this in? Yeah. So this should be in the mock one. Aha. And we expect the server to call that. Right? No, we can call that. I'm getting confused. I want this to come back out of it. Okay, yeah, it started running this. Message receive, no, mock raft message received equals null pointer. So it's not null. So yeah, we haven't written the code yet, but when the coordinator receives a message of type raft, it's going to take this string and use the raft server. Maybe I got this wrong. So this create message delegate is when Raft needs to make its own message. This is the opposite. This is where, yeah, so it's going to end up, the coordinator is going to end up calling this one. Actually, we can't let it do that, can we? Because it's a mock. Mock Raft message. Subclasses message, so yeah. I guess I can't do it with the constructor. I need to have a factory method of some kind. Yeah, so let's change this then. Make sure I didn't leave this in a completely broken state. This will be it for now. Let's see. This should actually fail, which is fine. So it fails because it's null. Go back to Raft. Raft message test, server test, I mean. Or is it message test? No, server test. I guess it would be message test. Yeah, so instead of doing this, right? Instead of doing this, we'll make a server and have it and ask it to make us a message. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. So make a server. So let's do one like that. Actually, it can be a class. It doesn't have to be. I don't have to make an instance, actually, now that I think about it. Right. Because this is really only... Oh, let me think about this. This isn't not going to work very well, is it? No, it has to be through the constructor. Let me try to put into words my problem. So I think the problem is I split Raft into a public and... What was the word I used the other day? I should have wrote this down. Concrete. The concrete and public APIs. Problem is message doesn't have a public API. It just has a concrete one. So when you make a mock Raft, you can make a mock message, but it's still a subclass of a real message. So I might have to give up on making fake messages look like omega lol, like I did here. This might actually have to be a real Raft message, because even our mock Raft message is subclassing the real Raft message class. Yeah. So I guess it doesn't really make sense to have a mock Raft message. Yeah, that does make sense. So let's wipe it out. Something doesn't make sense, you delete it, right? And then see where it breaks. So it broke here. Yeah, so we'll have to make these real Raft messages, unfortunately. Let me make a note to think about this later. Think about how to mock Raft without needing actual Raft message objects. So for now, we'll just deal with the fact that we have a real one. So Raft message, which means I have to put a real JSON object in here that matches a real Raft message. So I'll just take from the other unit test. Not that one. This one. Sure, we'll pick this one. Why not? tab that and tab the other thing, right? So it doesn't matter what really the content is. We just want to see it out here. So I think what I'll do is I'll make this part of the setup. So const auto Raft Message serialized is that. This goes in here, and it should come out here. That's what we expect. And do I have JSON? I do have JSON. So let's make sure that this works. I didn't touch Raft, right? Or I was going to, and I reverted that, so we didn't break it. Okay, so we didn't break the send Raft message. So receive Raft message, it should work as long as I use a real Raft message. I have to put it in there, so I guess I'll just use JSON. It's the most convenient. Same thing, I guess. Maybe I'll change it up a little bit. We'll make it a request vote response results. Term, I don't know, 8. Results, vote granted. Sure, you get the vote. Why not? And then we will send the same way we received, this way. Dot to encoding. And then we expect it to come back in, and we should be able to see that it was deserialized properly. Yeah, this'll work. So actually, how are we going to deserialize it? I mean, how are we going to look at the object once it's deserialized? That's the tough thing, because it's a real Raft message. Yeah, it's a Raft message, we don't have much access to it right now. I might have to solve this problem that I just wrote in my notes. Because we can deserialize it, we can serialize it. Oh, that's the key. I'll re-serialize it and expect the same thing back out. That'll work. So expect equal the Raft message serialized when we take that message received and re-serialize it again. Serialize, yeah. I don't like this solution, but it should work. It's going to fail because Coordinator doesn't actually pass messages to Raft when it should. So we'll fix that, and then actually when that happens, that means well, there's one more thing, is that we have to make sure that the sender is correct, right? And actually, we need to do it in both directions. We need to make sure that when this one, it goes to the correct connection. So I really should have 2 connections going and test it going to one or the other. Message sender. So we should verify message sender is correct. Sender should be, or it's the other guy, right? It'll first, I think it goes in order. So it'll first connect to instance 1. It's 0, and so it's going to go to 1. Mock Raft message sender. And how do we check it up here? Actually, hold on. Oh, that's right. I was going to have two connections, and then this one controls which one it sends it to. Yeah. I'm inclined to just to let it. I'm lazy because right now I can only wait for the first connection. Oh no, I could wait for two. But yeah, I could only wait for for the first one to be established. It only does it on the very first one. So there's nothing right now that we can wait on two connections right now. I'm thinking though, when it connects to one, it should actually connect to both in the same worker thread. So, no, it's not even in. Is it in the worker? It is in the worker thread. So no, we have to wait for a certain number. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it at one right now. Maybe make a note. Consider testing coordinator sending Raft message to second peer 2. Right now it only sends it to 1. So I maybe remind myself that. Send message only tests sending to the first peer. That probably fits into the realm of refactoring. Well, not really. This is what I should be doing. I'm just being lazy. Okay, so to make it pass, it still fails, right? It should fail. We have to deal with incoming Raft messages in the coordinator. Which means I have to remember where messages come in. Ah, they're right here. Oh, and this is still broken, isn't it? It only works for hold on. It only works for connections that come in. Connections we make, we're only setting the closed delegate. We're not setting the text delegate. Oh, I forgot about that. Right. Okay, so this will actually test both because, right? Because oh no, it won't. Actually, we'll make two variants of this. Receive Raft message from instance we connected to. And then we'll have another one for receive Raft message from instance that connected to us. The difference is that we don't allow any outward connections. We don't wait for that. Instead, we have to do the WebSocket callback. This one. Or WebSocket delegate. And we don't need to do this stuff. Do I need to do this stuff anyway up here? I guess it did because it sends the ID. Right. So here we just wait. No, we don't wait. We say you're not allowed to make connections. A connection comes in. Oh, it's supposed to identify itself first, right? Infra hello. One of these. And we should wait for it to get identified. Oh, I guess it is synchronous. So this test is showing it's synchronous. Cool. I like it. So it comes in, it identifies itself as instance 1, and then it sends in a Raft message. Cool. So either way, let's work on this one first. The ID. Oh, is it ID, not type? Shoot, I had that wrong then. Gonna leave now. Okay, see you later, Kenkamatics. Yeah, so this needed to be ID. Oh, wait a minute, no, hold on. I'm getting confused. This is for an infra hello. Else if, again, is private. Let's do it this way. And type equals Raft. Here we go. So if it is that, we're going to take the string out of the Raft and then give it and make a Raft message for it. So const auto Raft message equals Raft message, make a new one, and give it data as JSON Raft. Right? And then we can pass that to Raft. Where am I? Is it impl? No, coordinator. Where's Raft? Where's the Raft? Okay, it needs to be shared with the callbacks, yes. So we're going to move Raft into the shared properties. And where do I put it? Let's put it here. So I moved Raft around so that I can say receive message, Raft message. That's all I need to do, I think. What? Oh, it needs to know who sent it. Yes. So the sender is where is it? How do we recover the instance number? So it came in. It came in here. We didn't actually store it anywhere. I think what we need to do is actually store it. And it has to persist. It has to be something that belongs to this delegate. So where am I going to put it? Shared. Yeah, let's do this. So instead of WS week, let's make a structure. So we'll call it WebSocket context. Sounds good to me. And we'll put the weak pointer in there. I don't know if you can assign a strong pointer to a weak pointer. I think you can. So it would be something like this. And then context dot, we'll leave the other stuff initialized. This needs to be shared. So pull that out. Const auto equals make shared. Put the WebSocket weak pointer to the WebSocket in there. Whoops. Actually, I can put the coordinator link in there as well. And I can put the as private. Well, we can leave that out. And it's just context now. Actually, why don't I just put it in there too? So context is private equals is private. Then everything is tunneled through that context structure, which I need to define. Let me define that now. With shared properties, and then here's our struct WebSocket context. This holds state, persistent state, needed by WebSocket delegate, given by delegates, needed by delegates given to WebSockets. There we go, that's good enough. And then one is the weak pointer. Point to a WebSocket. The other one is private. The other one, and then the third one was the shared properties. Coordinator. This points back weakly to the WebSocket to which the delegate was given. All right. This points to the shared properties of the coordinator. This of the coordinators of the server state. This indicates whether or not this WebSocket connection is on the private network. Okay, now here's where I'm going to introduce the other variable I needed. This is the instance number of the other server. So the other server to the server which is on the other end of the WebSocket. There, that's a better way of saying it. And we need to have a flag whether or not it really is a server. So unsigned. Do I want unsigned int? I can't remember. Size T. Let's have another flag. Is instance. I should initialize all these too. This flag indicates whether or not the server on the other end of the WebSocket is another realm server. Entity on the other end of the WebSocket is another realm server. Okay, got it. All right. So these just need to be need to have context arrow in front. So here, instead of writing down the instance number, we can just say, well, We can do this arrow instance, and then we can say is instance equals true. Oh, no, hold on. Let me back up, because this is an integer, and we're checking for negative integers, right? So when we get to here, it's identified. Is instance true, instance number equals converting it to size t. Instance number already is an int, so I don't need to do that. Cool, so we can also qualify this, say and is instance. And then here we just say instance number. Raft wants it in terms of an unsigned int, though. Right now it's a one-to-one mapping. Just need to do a type conversion. Okay. That moved to shared. Cool. Let's try it out. Probably horribly broke some stuff. What did I do wrong here? Invalid selection for com.dat section 10D. What the heck? What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. I build again and it's fine? What the heck? I don't know. Okay, so it passed one of them. It's the one, yeah, it fails the one that I expected it to fail. But it passed the one, it passed when, right, the one we just coded. They connect to us, but when we connect to them, the text message isn't getting through. That's because I haven't yet fixed this problem here where the set text delegate is only called for connections to us, not from us. So let's do this. I do the same thing I did with the closed delegate. I'm going to make a function on text delegate or on text on WebSocket text. Be consistent with on WebSocket closed. So it's going to need the entire context, I believe. Actually, let's, for consistency's sake, let's pass the entire context there as well, yes. And then this becomes the body of on WebSocket text. All this stuff. Right? All that stuff becomes on WebSocket text. So paste it all, unindent it. And then we're going to pass in shared pointer to WebSocket context. And then this gets the context as well. Let's fix this up a little bit. This is called when a WebSocket that is used to get, yeah. Context, this is the context of the, well, let's not use the word context in its own description. I can repeat what I said up here, right? Where did I put it? Oh, you know what? That means I think we need to move context before shared properties. we need it to be defined. Well, I kind of feel like it should be defined before shared properties where we're actually using it. Okay, we'll use exactly that text. This holds persistent state needed by delegates. Well, that's specific though. This holds the persistent state associated with the WebSocket. And then I can say the same thing for the other method. Close that for a moment and then paste it here. This method is called when WebSocket that is used to communicate with another thread has received a text message. All right, let me fix this one up first. So this becomes context WS. That's context is private. That's all I need to do here? Yeah, okay. Oh, there's actual data there, and we need the data. It's a string, right? Data. Hey there, I was going to say security, but it's code and system security. Sorry, I missed your message for a couple minutes. This is the content of the text message that was received. So, hopefully you're still around code and system security. You're wondering what I'm doing? It's a today command. So I'm implementing, well, really, I just finished implementing the algorithm, Raft Consensus, and I'm integrating it into my game. So what is my game? Starting up a new online RPG, and it's very new. So there's nothing. I'm just trying to set up servers that have no state yet. The first goal is to have a cluster of servers. Why am I making a cluster of servers? Because I want it to be a high availability. So if one server goes down, or let's say I take a server down and I want to upgrade it, the other servers in the cluster will take over. And the Raft Consensus algorithm is used to get a set of servers to all have the same state so that any one of them could drive the game for me. And the others are there just to take over if the leader stops running. So right now I'm working on integrating, and I have enough of the Raft algorithm done where the server cluster should be able to elect a leader, and that's what my goal for today is, to get a leader elected from a... I'm just going to run 3 servers locally on my computer and just watch and see if one of them gets to be the leader or not. Oh, I think I said this is subject to change because this is sort of a goofy way of saying that you are another server. But we'll keep it for now. So... what was this flag that I was passing before? You haven't done much C++, so it mean to learn it properly? So this might not be the best way to learn it because I'm kind of just using it and not explaining what I'm doing in C++. But if you have a question, you can feel free to ask. For example, this syntax might be look a little weird, but this is how you do a function object or a lambda function in modern C++. These being the things that you capture in the function object and parameters to the function in the body. And that function object is passed to another object. So it's semi-functional programming. In other words, these lines of code are run. This is run, but this stuff is not run until later this object might call the function it was given in this function. So it's a little convoluted. I screwed up a little bit here, I think. I'm going to need to go back to what this used to be, which is what getlens is for, right? Getlens. What did this file look like before? Is private. That's what the flag was. Okay, now I know what it was. I can go back to where it was set here. Right, so I think that already is in the context. Oh no, I don't have a context here. This one has a context, so the other place needs a context. And this one we needed to add the data to it. Okay, you know what I'm doing, and you can write C++. Typically, you can't write it properly. That's kind of subjective, right? Remember the what is it? I can't remember the name of it, but the order of operations in coding in general is number 1, get it to work, get it working. Number 2 is get it right. Number 3 is to get it fast. So properly depends. If properly, do you mean does it work, or is it done right? Some people just want stuff to work. You don't need to write it properly. Okay, I'm going to take the context. I'm shoving everything into this context object, and the other place doesn't have it yet. Here we're going to make it. So new WebSocket context. Store a weak pointer to the WebSocket. Store the shared object in it. And it's always private. And then we put that context into the capture. Then we just forward it along. Oh, reach back into the context to find the coordinator. All right. So the missing piece was I need the text delegate on this end. Actually, this is common setup in both places, isn't it? Do a little bit of refactoring in a minute, maybe? I want to see it work first, though. Okay, that's not working yet. What's the deal? Undeclared identifier. Oh, shucks. Is one referring to the other? So I have to at least forward declare that. Let's forward declare it. See if that allows me to get past this. It did. Okay, so now we're just down to... Let me comment this. Forward declare the coordinator's shared properties structure so that WebSocket context, it can refer to it. Ah, yes, I'm missing something right there. I don't know why I put that line there. Oh, probably because I added some lines since I last compiled. The line numbers are off. There we go. Let's run the test again. It didn't make it pass. Okay, that should have worked because this, are we looking at the right place here? This is the code where we're making a connection, and here I am setting the text delegate so that when we receive something, we should get called back. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't store the... Yeah. I didn't store the other information. We know it's an instance, and we also know the instance number. What is it? It's just instance number. Size T, and what is this one? Size T. There we go. That probably was what it was. That's not enough. It's still not getting through. Well, I guess I can put a breakpoint there. Let's put a breakpoint there and just run it. Hey, Hideo. It's going well over here. How did you do this? Did I answer the question before you finished asking it? I'm confused. You said, how did you do this and thanks, sir. Oh, thanks, sir. I guess I don't understand the question. Sorry. Wrong tab. Okay. Realm server tests. Let's go and hit that breakpoint. It never hit the breakpoint. Okay, did I not send the text message? That we connected to, right here, I'm sending it. Here we wait until we receive the introduction message, which should happen here. So when we send it, it should go into there. In tab locations. In tab locations. How did you do this? I'm sorry, I'm not following. Let's go to here and let me do this. I'll restrict the tests so that it only runs that one test. That would be going to launch configuration and typing it in here. Then I can kind of limit, I can have it go here first. Yeah, so let's watch, see if we see the order of operations I expect. So it goes here, then we're connecting, then we're sending a text, and then that's it. So what happened between those? Does this get called? That does get called. Now we're about to send the text. Right. It never made it through. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Hey, hey, hey. We connected it to, so we're the client, so it needs to come back from the server end. Indentation. How did I do the lines in the indentation? You mean all these lines? I think that's in the settings in VS Code. Let me look it up. Ruler. Maybe it's through this rule. Why is this green? I think it's through the rulers here somehow. No, the ruler is for the 78 character, this line here. It might be through the editor config. Indent size 4. I think if you do that, VS Code just puts in the lines. Render indent guides. Is that what I put in there? It's been a while since I set this stuff up, and maybe it's defaulted to be on. Yeah, it's the defaults to be on, so I'm guessing it knows the 4 because of what I have in .editor config. I really like .editor config, by the way. VS Code obeys the editor config protocol. Okay, it's still not passing. I built it, right? Okay, let's run it again. Doing something stupid, I'm sure. Okay. Set the text delegate. We send our hello. Then we send back the Raft message. Never got received. Oh, wrong server. We need to go through this first connection. Yeah, okay. First connection. WS server. I'll get it correct one of these days. You see that? Okay, so make the connection. Set the text delegate, send our hello, then we send back the Raft message. It's still not working. Oh, no, it was just delayed. Probably because it's in another thread. Okay, cool. So it's probably passing now. Yay! Yay. Time to check it in. Time to check it in. I am horribly tongue-tied today. Why did I have to add that? I don't think I needed to do that. Let me go double check. That's message tests. Oh, I think I was going to add something and I backed it out. Okay, so there are no changes in Raft. It's all in the game server. So the game server, we've refactored out the text message handling. We refactored out all the context information that a WebSocket delegate is given. Raft is now shared with callbacks, and we're handling... Where's the best way to see that? I guess since I moved it around, it's kind of hard to see, but here we added the reception of Raft messages. That was the whole intent. So handle received Raft messages. Refactor out the delegate given to WebSockets whenever text messages are received. Set the text delegate when we're the client. What else did I do? Oh yeah. Group together context information for for delegates given to WebSockets. Add instance number recognition and number to WebSocket delegate context. And oh yeah, Raft is now shared. Make Raft object move Raft object to shared properties. Shared properties, that means it's shared between the class and the callbacks that the class hands out. And I still have those ugly hacks in there, but can't do everything in a day. I'm not going to push that yet. I just want to make sure everything has a commit now. Oh. Cool, that's just one commit ready to push. We might be ready to try this live. Do it live. Let's see, to do it live, I need to make sure there are at least 3 servers. I don't have 3 servers, so we'll make a 3rd server. Assign it some port numbers. All right, and then I need 3 command lines now. Rearrange my windows a little bit, maybe. No, I don't want to bump into chat. We'll keep this one tall. I've been streaming for 1 hour and 38 minutes. Oh yeah, I only have like 10 minutes left. So it's all or nothing. It's either works or I have to fix it tomorrow or later today. All right, anyway. Go to the orchestrator, run the staging command, then we're going to run realm server realm acandinal, and that's just a funny name I picked. So it's going to sit there and try to connect. Oh man, it crashed. Why did it crash? I wonder if it's because Raft is asking us to send stuff and we're not connected yet. Fortunately, I have this set up, I think, to test it in the debugger. Let me make sure that it's right. Yeah, so let's see what happens in the debugger. I'm going to have to remove all my breakpoints. Stop, rerun again. It's crashing right away. What is this? Why is it stopping here? Oh, it is crashing right away. Shared state is null. Okay, why? The worker thread is running with null shared state? How did that happen? Oh no, the timekeepers. Okay, I didn't set the timekeeper. Oh yeah, I forgot that. I forgot to do that. The Raft doesn't have a timekeeper. Shoot. Did I have enough time to add that? I have a timekeeper, but it's not for Raft. It's for the web server. Implement both? Let me see if I can do this. Can it implement both? Question, I wonder if that'll work because this is overloaded. But it's the same name, so maybe it works? Let me see if it works. Holy crap, I didn't think that would work. It's both of these interfaces are basically the same, but they're in different namespaces. But otherwise they're identical. So this now is overriding for both. I actually didn't know that was possible. But that's cool because now I can go in here and when I set the timekeeper for one thing, I can set it for the other. Where is that done? Probably here? Yeah. Well, I don't want to make one. Let's pass one in. That's it right there. Oh, no. Shared pointer. This is the object which tracks time, real time for the servers. For various server components. Because now we have two things it tracks time for. The WebGate and the Raft algorithm. This is getting long. I'm going to break it up. Break it up into different lines. Timekeeper, which we have to make one of. Const auto timekeeper. Equals make shared timekeeper. All right. And then we need to give Raft it. We need to give one to Raft. I suppose I'll just do it here. Here. Set timekeeper. There we go. Okay, now I need to first stage and then we'll run the debugger just to see if it's going to crash. It does crash. Not quite done yet. Crashing here. Oh, well, yeah, I never set that. That's right. We never told Raft how to create a new message. We can just tell it to create one of its own. Raft set create message delegate to return standard make shared one of its own. Raft message. Technically, we don't want to do it there, actually. I want to do it in coordinator. Coordinator's in charge of this. That'll be in mobilize, right? Do not like Visual Studio? I do like Visual Studio. The problem is it doesn't run on Linux and Mac for C++. So I've been using VS Code because I want to have the same experience cross-platform. I do have to flip back to Visual Studio sometimes for the debugger. The debugger in Visual Studio is a lot better. But yeah, I've been trying to use VS Code so I can be flexible on what OS I'm on. Okay, so the part where we're setting up Raft here, we will set the message creation delegate. We're going to change this later when we want to elaborate and have our own messages, I think. Or not. I haven't decided yet. Okay, run this again. Hopefully if this runs, then I can run all three at once. No, it's still crashing. Where did it crash? I don't see it. Oh, that's because I didn't stage it. That's probably why it's crashing. Stage is I'm moving the executables together into a staging area. Ooh, cool. It's actually working. So we can see it's trying to connect to the other two instances, and it's also trying to start a new election, but there's no other instances. So we need to make a new one. So unfasten. Make this a somewhat shorter one. Go to the same build directory and run. Then all, but instance 1. Okay. Oh, why is it sending heartbeat? Hold on, I want to see what that was doing. And the shutdown isn't working. It's sending a heartbeat. It shouldn't be doing that. It should only do that if it's the leader. Connection established. Connected to instance 1, right? So it 0 and 1 connected, and they're both complaining that it can't talk to 2. Huh, this one's screwed up and thinks that 1 is still running. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We're getting all sorts of strange things. The term is increasing rapidly. Okay. I got issues. I got issues to work out. Let me quit everything. Back to just having 0. Now 0 and 1. This one's sending heartbeats for some reason. Maybe I should figure that out first. Actually, let's run all 3. So close or kill, unfasten. Make this one shorter. Make it fit there. Something like that. Candinal, instance 2. Okay, yeah, see, they're not really talking to each other very well. This one's constantly trying to start a new election. This one's constantly trying to vote for it. No, it's rejecting the vote because it already voted for 0, and this one seems to be stuck. This might take a while, and I don't really have time for it now. So I'm just going to say, for now, we fail. Hopefully we pass tomorrow. I really didn't expect it to screw up this badly. Like, this guy's not even talking at all. He's like completely stuck. It's like this one's not hearing, so this is instance 2. It's not hearing anything, so it's just trying to raise a new election constantly. This one's getting the election messages from this one and trying to reject the votes, but I think the key is this one's screwed up. What if we stop this one now and start it up again? Okay, this one's voting for 2, this one's voting for 0, and this one's stuck now. Only Ella Giggle is valid. So what's the opposite of Ella Giggle? Would that be Monka S or Feels Bad Man? You work on PHP. Do you think learn C++? Well, if you have an opportunity to work on a project, like especially if it's a job that pays well and you don't mind working on C++, I think it's great to learn. To learn for its own sake, I don't know. If you're working on embedded software or like back-end stuff, maybe. But a lot of back-end stuff on the web now is, like you mentioned, PHP or Node.js and other things. So I'm mostly using C++ because I'm used to it and it runs on all platforms. You don't need a framework. It compiles to assembly language, basically, or machine language. So it's different when you're thinking about learning something. I would say learn something if it's interesting to you, or if there's like a job lined up where where you could, if you knew C++, you could take the job. Ella giggle both for pass and fail. Yeah. Well, this is going to get complicated. I'd rather take a break and step back and think about what I might have done wrong. Maybe poke around a little bit off stream. So how about this? I might stream later today if a eureka moment happens and I'm like, oh, I know what happened. But I have to wrap up anyway now because I have an errand to run. So we'll leave it in this broken state and we'll come back and fix it later. How about that? Sorry, servers, but you failed. So, did I get through my plan today? Okay, did deserialization of messages. We attempted to hold a real... See, I knew it would fail. I said attempt to. And then if... Yeah, this is really if it succeeded, I would test re-election. Yeah, you know, these things I didn't test, it might be why it's failing. Who knows? So, just wrapping up. Been working on implementing Raft Consensus algorithm to try to get this server cluster, where every server has the same state, to achieve consensus so they all agree on state. And they need to elect a leader because the leader is what our game client is going to connect to. And more information about Raft you can find in the links here. That was in the notebook page for today, if you want to read more about it. I have enough of the algorithm done where it should be able to hold an election between my servers, but it's working in unit testing, but when I integrated it, everything's falling apart. So probably I'll poke into it and discover a bunch of bugs, and I'll just create unit test cases for them and code those unit test cases on stream next time. And it might be later today, or it might be tomorrow. Usually my schedule that I'm trying to get into is 10 a.m. to 2 Pacific. Today I got to run an errand though, right smack in the middle. So I got to end early. So maybe screen later today, but if not, then I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. You missed too much of the stream while Adam was reviewing your PRs. That's okay. I'll be streaming tomorrow, and tomorrow's off day for Adam, so there won't be a conflict, right? So let me go see who we can host. I have to figure out why my dog is whimpering. I think she needs to go out. This is the perfect opportunity. We'll let you out in a minute. I'm just peeking off screen here to see who's going. Oh, Adam's still going? No one else is really going but Adam. Adam's the trooper today. We'll go host Adam. If you haven't, I can't imagine why you wouldn't have known about Adam, but if you see Adam, if you don't know about Adam, I mean, you should check him out. He's working on the DevOps for his game. He's much further along in his game than I am. And I do have a Discord link. And I guess Hideo and I typed it simultaneously, and Stream Elements was good enough to only spam it once. So yeah, please feel free to check out the Discord channel. There's not much there yet, but you can ask questions there. And there's an announcements channel that I try to send in a message a little bit before I start streaming. We're going to host Adam. And I'll see you guys either later today or actually most likely tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. Until then, have a good day, or good morning, or good evening. And I'll see you then. Bye.